This like makes me so mad just thinking about it. Hey guys, it's Mary. So I've been up since before 5 o'clock this morning to go to work. And now I'm home and I decided why not make a YouTube video. So I have coffee and I've seen a lot of the roommate horror story videos and like they're good. A lot of them are really good and I always find so much entertainment in watching them, and I just figured why not share my experience. That is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing the roommate horror story time, which I think this is my first story time. Without further ado, let's get on to the story. First of all, I have a list. It's an extensive list. It's a list full of mainly stuff that just happened the first semester. I didn't even live with these two girls that I'm going to be talking about the second semester, but like it was the beginning of this. It's just a lot. Okay, so I have a list and I'm only going to do half of it. I'll try to do the first part, like the first semester, all in one, but I can't make any promises because these girls were literally probably the worst human beings I have ever met. Okay, so to start off, let's start naming characters, shall we? So, got me, Mary, right here. Then you have my friend, Michaela, okay? So you got me, Michaela, my friend, that I room with. And then you have Vanessa and Veronica. Let's start the story. It all started fall 2018. I get down there a week early for training for my new job, and Michaela was already down there because she was a summer worker. And the day comes that we can start moving into our new rooms, and so we start moving in. I have to actually think about this. We start moving in and everything, and I don't remember when the two girls showed up. I think it was a few days, and I think it was like, we had a few days of like the room to ourselves, and it like allowed us to get settled in, which was really nice. Basically, a few days later, I came into the room and I saw Vanessa and her mom. And when I first saw her, I was like, oh wow, she's like pretty, she's nice, so is her mom, like they're so nice. Her mom got us candy and everything. She even like got us like gift cards to the campus store, which is super nice. And like I could already tell that her family had money. Not like that's a bad thing, but I was just like, oh okay, like mirror for the room, that's cool, like whatever, that's nice. And then I think, like, I left the room or something. I come back from the workers' meeting. And our room has laundry baskets all over the floor. There's decorations everywhere. Like, they're not even hung up. It's so bad. It was just stuff everywhere. You had to, like, find a path to walk. And so I was just kind of like, okay, well, I guess the fourth girl arrived. Oh, I forgot to say that. So at the college I go to, there are 4 people to a room. Yeah, there are 4 people to a room. So I left to go hang out with Daniel, and I came back, and Michaela was there, Vanessa and Veronica was there. So the stuff that was all over the floor, that was all Veronica's stuff. The first night that we were all together, we were all talking, having girl talk. Michaela and I were talking later and we were like, yes, this is going to be good. Like, it's going to be such a good year. They seem so chill. Like, it's going to be good. Like, really good. No. Let me just start right on with the list. Okay, so within the first few days, we realized that our stuff was being moved, me and Michaela. So me and Michaela were like talking to each other, you know, like, oh hey, like my thing was moved, you know, this was moved, that was moved. One specific example of my stuff was my jewelry holder, which like, there's 2 dressers. So since there's 4 girls, you divide the dresser top in half, and one person gets one half, one person gets the other. I had my jewelry holder like in the corner, and it was moved forward to put a stupid sparkly tree branch on the stupid dresser top. Michaela's jackets were continuously moved onto her bed. Like, I was on the bottom bunk, Michaela was on the bottom bunk. Veronica slept above Michaela, and Vanessa slept above me. So Veronica kept taking Michaela's jackets off and throwing them down onto her bed because she is petty like that. So our stuff kept getting moved, and we were like, well, we don't really know what to do and all this stuff. Michaela decided that she was going to write a note. And then she was, you know, like, we were trying to think of how to do it nicely because, you know, no one really likes a note waiting for them. And then she was thinking, you know, well, we didn't like the passive aggressive stuff that our other roommate from the previous year did with us. So let's just talk to them. So we did. At this point, Michaela had already written the note, but what she did was she turned the note thing, like her sticky notepad, upside down. She turned it upside down, and then we left. And then we came back, and they weren't there, but they were, like, they had been there. We found the sticky notepad turned right side up with the note that she had written crumpled up onto her bed. Okay. When we tried to confront them about it later, like whenever it was, Veronica lied. She said, well, you know, my mom did that, you know, like, it's my mom, you know, she's doing that, sorry. But then when we were saying, like, if you have an issue, talk to us, and then we'll talk about it. And then after a few minutes of her saying her mom was moving the stuff, she was like, actually, Michaela, could you keep your jackets off of the bedpost? Because that's like, could you just not? They would always come in late. Our curfew to be in the dorm was 10:25. Bed check was at 11. Bed check was just to make sure that we were all in the room so that, you know, we weren't, you know, like, out. So we just kept having issues with them, you know, like, their mess would be everywhere. I have a bunch of pictures, which is why I'm sitting off to the side. Enjoy these pictures that I am about to pull up right here. So there was just mess everywhere, all over the desk, all over the floor, dried ramen noodles everywhere. The bathroom. We had a suite bathroom. So it was me, it was like our room, and then another room, we shared one bathroom. Our like separate rooms had sides of the bathroom that we had. So we had our own sinks and everything like that. Or like the rooms had their separate sinks and counter spaces, drawers, cupboards, you know, stuff like that. We did share the toilet room area and then the shower. Vanessa would have this huge makeup thing, and she would leave it right in front of my stuff. They would like leave their straighteners plugged in, which is against the rules at where we go to school, and we get in trouble for it. Whatever. It's just so annoying. Like I said, enjoy these pictures that I'm putting up right here. We would always have room jobs to make sure that our room wasn't a complete mess, which even though it was, don't really know how we didn't get in trouble for that. The room jobs that we all had, I had the toilet and mirrors. Michaela had the sink and counter. Vanessa had the floors. And Veronica had the trash. We had a trash can in the toilet room, which was mine. And then there were a few trash cans like around the room that belonged to other people. And she claimed that she had the worst job. And that's aside from the shower job, which our room didn't have because, like I said, 2 rooms share one shower. And so one semester, one room will clean the shower, and then the other semester, the other room will clean the shower. So she felt that the trash can, or like the trash, was definitely the worst job ever. Okay. Lights. I started work at 7:50, which meant that I had to get up around 6:30 so that I could get ready, get my uniform on, drink coffee, and go to breakfast. So of course I would, be trying to go to bed at a decent time. I'm not even talking like 10 o'clock. Like, no. I was talking like I was trying to go to bed at least by midnight. These girls would sit at the desk on their phones talking with their stupid desk lamps. Like, okay, I'm not even talking about like a little clip-on desk lamp kind of thing. I'm talking like a full-sized lamp that would sit in your living room. They would have that turned on until like, oh my goodness, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3, maybe not 3, actually, yeah, 3 a.m. And I would constantly have to like ask them if they would soon be done using the lamp. And when I would ask, it was never Veronica doing homework. It was always Vanessa sitting at the desk doing homework, even though she wasn't diligently doing it. Well, when I tried to confront her about it, like, hey, like, do you think that you could maybe, like, have the lights off by 12:30? Like, I do not think that's an unreasonable request. I had to get up at 6:30. Really? And then I had to go to classes afterwards, which is obvious, because college. And she looks at me and goes, I'll try. Okay, I'm not one to belittle someone's workload, but this girl did not work at all. She didn't have a job. She had all freshman classes and still could not manage to get her homework done by 12:30 a.m. so that her 2 upperclassmen roommates who were both working 20 hours a week and doing upperclassmen classes could get sleep. One time, me and Michaela were coming back from doing something. We walked into our room and we smelled something kind of weird. We were like, well, that's odd, but I mean, whatever, it's fine. We walked around the room, walked around the desk, and we found an iron, a clothing iron, on the floor, plugged in and on. And the smell that we were smelling in our room was the water that had burned out of it. They got my eyeshadow palettes wet. It's not like it was in metal casing. It was like cardboard casing. It wasn't plastic. It wasn't metal. Like, it couldn't have just been wiped off. It had to dry. And I was worried that it was going to get wet. Or like, I was worried that it was going to ruin the eyeshadow. On a Sunday afternoon, I was doing something. I don't know what I was doing, but I had to go to the bathroom. So I go into the bathroom and I walk into the toilet room. And like, the toilet room has its own door so that other people can still do stuff in the bathroom, which is really nice. And when I closed the door, my face almost came into contact with a used pad that was stuck on someone's underwear. I later found out, I quickly found out that was Vanessa's. It was owned by her. Ew. They splattered nail polish on my stuff and didn't clean it up. These girls would have rathered to be late to class with a full face of makeup on than to arrive to class on time with no makeup. So Sunday school for us starts at 9:15. We had to be out of the dorms by 8:55. One day, Michaela was checked in, so she was sick and she couldn't go. So she was in bed, and she stayed in bed and everything, and that was fine. That was fine for her to do that. And Veronica was running extremely late. But instead of leaving on time, she put her makeup on and left the dorm at 9:15. She left the room at 9:15. 20 minutes late. Okay. They were drinking Michaela's bottled water that she was getting. They didn't care. They were just using it. Didn't actually ask anyone. The noise, they would laugh, talk full volume, whisper super loud, they didn't know how to whisper while we were trying to sleep with their stupid lamp on. Oh my goodness, that bothered me so much. One time, Veronica went to Student Life to talk about a problem in the room. She lied to Student Life and said that Michaela had mess everywhere and she couldn't get to her desk, is the words that she used. I love it. She lied to Student Life and said that Michaela had dishes everywhere that had mold in it, and it was a safety or a health hazard. Where was the health hazard when there was the used pad hanging from the door? Packing for Thanksgiving break. Michaela had already gone home at this point. It was Tuesday night. Veronica and Vanessa were both leaving in the morning of Wednesday. I wasn't leaving at all, but I still had to work on Wednesday morning. I had to get up at 7:45 or something, 7:30. They kept me up until 2:30 in the morning. Some people might say oh, whatever, you have it so, that's so easy, whatever. This was after I had a headache, a pounding headache from Vanessa trying to fix her stupid flowers that were being held in a Pringles can. They were being super loud. Didn't even care. When I poked my head out of my bed tent, yes, I had a bed tent, and the lights were still too bright. Veronica was standing just in the room in her bra and underwear, not even caring, acting like she's some Victoria's Secret angel or something. I'm gonna end this story time off with the speeding ticket with the guy. Of course, I have plenty of other stories to go with it, but the vape story is just going to have to wait until the next video. We were having hall meeting one night, which was at 10:30, and Veronica still wasn't back. We just didn't know where she was. Oh dang! I forgot to. No. I'll tell that with the other one. Yeah. So I'm sitting there with Michaela, and we see Veronica come off of the elevators and sit down behind the RAs during hall meeting. And she was late at this point. And we get back into the room, and I'm sitting there like trying to finish a paper or something before I go to bed. And Veronica and Vanessa start freaking out. Vanessa's like, how could you do this? Like, you were going so fast. How fast were you going? Like, all this stuff going on and on and on. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And this was before I was already annoyed with them, but like this was like before it all went really, really bad. After they went on and on and on for a while, Veronica finally hands me a ticket that she got as she was trying to speed back to campus. I looked at it and she was going 64 in a 35 mile per hour zone in a construction zone with a boy in her car, which our school does not allow that. Like, they are again, like, you have to be 23 to go off campus with a guy. She thought her mom would pay for it as a Christmas present for her. Okay. Needless to say, we had many problems. Our RAs and the residence manager had to get involved. Student life got involved. It was so bad. But thankfully we didn't have to room with them the second semester. But if you want to figure out how that happened, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below. I want to hear your roommate horror stories. And head on over to my channel to check out some of my other videos. I would really appreciate that. I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe and hit the bell notification to get notified when I upload. And until next time, make sure you remember to treat people with respect and treat people how you would like to be treated, not like how the roommates in this story treated me and Michaela. Alright, thank you guys. Bye!